Hello friends, in today's video we are going to add a ribbon on the product page. This is Odoo B16 and this ribbon right here, the way we add it is by going to the product page and there's a field called ribbon and you select the ribbon right here, and when you do that the ribbon appears on the product image, but it only appears on this view. If I click on the product, it does not appear here on this product page, and that's an issue that's happening on B16. And we're gonna write customization so that ribbon also appears in this product page, and we're going to make a new module to do this. So to begin, we need to find where in the code is this image being generated. And one thing we can do, we can go to more tools and go to developer tools and just click this icon right here to inspect the element, and here on the top it says OM OE unmovable, and it says product detail image. So we can go to the code and just look for those classes. So let's go to Visual Studio and just type that. So it's right here. We see OE unmovable product detail image, and most likely this is the code that is generating the image. So we want to add a span to add the ribbon. So we can do this by making our new module and just add the span right there. So I'm just gonna make a new module and have a module template right here, and I'm just gonna copy it. And I'm just gonna name it whatever I want. I'm just gonna say product add ribbon, and we're not gonna need the models folder, so we can just delete that, and the report folder also delete it, and the static folder we're also not gonna need, so we can delete that. And let's go to Visual Studio to look for a new module. and it's right here. So let's add a name. For the module, and this module is gonna depend on website, the website module, and website sale. So let's add that. And here we can add the path where the XML file is gonna be. So we could just name it whatever we want. So I'm just gonna name it add ribbon. And I'm gonna save it. And I'm gonna make the new file add ribbon. XML. And here I'm gonna use the Odoo tags. And the template tags. And this needs an ID, and it could be whatever we want. So product, website product, add ribbon. And we're gonna inherit from a template, so we need to use inherit ID. And we need the ID of the template that we're going to inherit. So I lost it, so let's look for it. So we need this ID right here. I'm just gonna pin it so that we don't lose track of it. Save it. So to get to that point, so we want our span to be right here. So we have to use XPath to get this div. So I'm gonna use the XPath. So to get to that point, we need an expression to get that div. So we can look for a div that has this attribute, and that this attribute has this value. So I could write something like div or slash div contains this attribute. So we want to look for a div that contains this attribute and that it has this value. So we can copy this and just put it right here. So we want to add a span before this div, so we could just use position before. And I'm gonna save it. So next, what we can do, we need to get some values because the ribbon that we use is part of a model and it has other fields. So we need to get that information from the ribbon, which is like a record. And because we are in Qweb, we can make variables using the tset directive. So we can like make new variables and we can assign values to those variables. So we can do that right now. So I'm gonna use the tset directive and this just declares like a variable and we could just name it whatever we want. So I'm just gonna name it bg color and that's gonna be our variable. And the value, to give the bg color variable a value, we can use the tValue directive. And we can close the tag. So to get the record, like we see that like this code uses product and that is a record on product template. So we can use that. So this is the product and in the product we see this field website ribbon ID. So we can write that next. So in the product we get the ribbon So to get more information about this ribbon, we can like go to this arrow. I'm sorry, there's like a lot of noise outside, like some truck is right there. So, but we can click this arrow and we can go to the ribbon record to get more information. And we want the background color. Yeah, this is BG color. That's our variable, but we want this information. So we can just type that here. And in case that this field has no value, we could just use or and just give it like an empty string. So the ribbon is gonna have a text color. So we can also make a new variable that has the text color of the ribbon. So we can make a new variable and just name it text color. And we can just give it like a value. So we can just repeat the code, like on the product, we get the ribbon. And we go to the ribbon information and we see the text color right here. And it's white, so we get the name of this field and it's text color. And if for some reason that field doesn't have a value, we could just assign it like an empty string. So now that we have this information, we can make our span element. And this span element is gonna have the ribbon information. So next we can use the attribute directive. And what this means is that Qweb is gonna compute attributes at runtime. And the F is because we're gonna use format strings. So this means that it's gonna at runtime, like a class is gonna be made with a certain value. So these are basically the classes that the ribbon's gonna have. So we can use a class for ribbons called O_ribbon, and that's gonna make the text, the font of the text border. So if we go back to the ribbon information, we see that the ribbon uses a specific class, so we can use this. So to get that information, we can use the format string. So we type $sign and curly braces, and then we write like this. We can copy this, and instead of text color, we're gonna use HTML class. So next we can add some styles, so we can write similar code. So this is the same as this, but just with styles. So Qweb is gonna like make a new style at runtime. And here we also are gonna use format strings. So the ribbon is gonna have a color for the text, and then it's gonna have a background color for the ribbon. So we could just write color, and we're gonna use a format specifier with an S, meaning that we're gonna turn like a value into a string. And then we're gonna use the variable that we declare right here, and we're gonna use that right here. And we're also gonna use another format string for the background color. So the reason that we can use the concatenation operation here, and we have to use this one here, is because they're different. Like for text color, we get white, but for background color, we get this function. So that's the reason that this has to be like different. So next we need the text for the ribbon. So we use thetout directive. And if we go to the ribbon information, we see this field gives like a text, So this is the information that the ribbon is gonna have. So we want this, and this is just HTML. So we want this. So we could just copy this. And this is gonna be HTML. And if for some reason this field is empty, we're just gonna give it like an empty string. So I think that's pretty much everything. And let's see if we can install the module, and there, because there could be an error, so let's see if everything's correct. So I'm gonna stop the service, and I'm gonna start it again. And I'm gonna go to settings, and no, I'm gonna go to apps, click here, update, and here we see our new module, and I'm gonna try to install it to see if we can see any errors. We see an error. So this ini file we don't need. So I'm just gonna delete that. So I'm gonna stop the service again. Start it again. Let's try to activate the module. Another error. There's a tag mismatch. right here we're missing slash. Stop the service. And let's go to apps and try to install it again. Alright, it seems that there's no errors, but let's check. Let's close this and just go back to shop. Let's refresh the page just to make sure. And yeah, we see the ribbon right here. So that was a lot of work for a ribbon, if you ask me. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.